show you another functional painting, and those are here, court painting or folk painting. So both of them emphasize techniques. Ink painting, if you see it, it's more like a spirit of it, or the personality of, or like a character of the painters themselves. But this court painting, such as screen painting or banquet painting called 의궤, these are more for techniques, and you also need a bit of teamwork. And among wealthy commoners, like wealthy ordinary citizens, they also wanted to have a popular version of court painting, and that is called folk painting. Folk painting means minhwa, and each province, they had their own painters. So they don't belong to the court, don't belong to the government. They are not literary painters. They are really, in our own understanding, professional painters in the local areas. So minhwa imitated court painting in the royal palace. So the subject matters are birthday painting or 10 symbols longevity. These are important topic for any Asian painting. China, Korea, Japan, they all have 10 symbols of longevity. If you are ever doing embroidery for pouches or for clothes, the common motif that people want to use is 10 symbols of longevity. And then scholars okotruma, these are luxury objects called 책거리. And then 4 gentlemen that I told you earlier in the class, in the semester, like the 4 plants, right? Orchid, bamboo, pine tree, chrysanthemums, or auspicious letter painting, like the letter su means longevity, you know, or the letter bok, like a fuku in Japanese, means wealth, you know, and so forth. But I want to talk a little bit about the royal procession and banquets. Joseon Dynasty is very, how can I say, passionate about record keeping. So they have that 500 years of royal history written, and then they also wanted to record the ceremonies that took place. So rituals and celebrations that took place following the royal standards. So that is called 의궤. There were even a department devoted to make sure that these processions or banquets are observant of regulations and guidelines. So they believe that that is also a very important goal, function of implementing the Confucian spirits. So here I will show you that 1795 ceremonial journey of the King Jeongjo to his father's tomb. Remember, the father was tragically killed in the rice casket by the order of Yeongjo. So anyhow, King Jeongjo made great efforts to rehabilitate the status of his father, Prince Sado, so that they are going to visit the Princess Sado's tomb, and that's remaining as the royal protocol called 의궤 in many volumes. Anyhow, you will see this very often in Korean historical dramas. King's throne is right here. King is going to sit right here. This is his little table. And right behind him, there is 일월 오봉도 or 일월 오봉 painting. So there is a sun and moon, and you have 5 peaks. And then here in the front, these are pine trees, and sometimes you see cranes and so forth. These are 10 longevities altogether. So that is the symbol of the king, royal throne. 1월 오봉도, it's in Gyeongbokgung Palace. So any palace will have 1월 오봉도, and you obviously need many of those. You don't need one. You need about 10 or 12 because it travels with the king. So this is a very important topic or subject matters for the court painters. So they are periodically repainted it because it gets old, then they need a new one, right? So remember that. And then King Jeongjo's profession to the tomb of his father, called Prince Sado's tomb, 1795. They are remaining in multi-volume albums, but you can extend that album in a folded paper, then it will be like this. So king is represented as his palanquin, like his royal cedar, like a throne, palanquin. You don't see him in shape. Like all of his attendees, right? Like bodyguards or ministers. These people are painted with human figures, but the king is only represented with the shape of chairs or palanquins. But they are not painted. Same with king and queen and other royal family members. But they preserve this as a record keeping so that they can replicate it some other time. So here it says this is where the king is located, but you don't show the king's face. It's thrones remain empty or palanquins imply presence of the king. So we actually have a remaining one in the National Palace Museum of Korea. Hold on, let me see. This one is also another banquet held in the palace. So it is mother of King Jeongjo's birthday party. So this is how people are gathering together for the birthday banquet. Yeah, so the celebration like birthdays or weddings, these are painted. It's interesting perspective, right? Like on either side, so people are standing here, but people the other side are upside down. But you will get the idea, right? It's the center is here, and then it's identical or symmetrical on either side. So that's their idea. And then this is King Yeongjo's wedding ceremony. King Yeongjo got married at a late age, and then the new queen was very young, and she was ambitious, so it also created some problems. Anyhow, this we just saw earlier, Kim Hong-do's work, and this is my favorite. This is at the San Francisco Asian Art Museum. This is the scholars accoutrement or check거리 painting. So here you have that 2, 4, 6, 8 panel screen painting, and these are scholars' ambitions. They probably read this many books, and then they also have this many beautiful seals. These are seals with your names, and then you have beautiful brushes. Some are from China, it's very precious ones, or you have this Chinese ceramics, or back then that what is it? What's the name of this flower? I will show you the flower. These are the seals, and here the painter Yi Eung-nok's name is written here, so we know that it's his work. So you have a beautiful brushes, but is it daffodils? You know, so these are imported rare flowers. So that somebody owns these ones, probably coming from Beijing, and then these are old Chinese calligraphy and old Chinese bronzeware. So, you know, this person who has this scholars of accoutrement can say that I'm also an art collector, but, you know, I have a lot of beautiful works. So, but it's not that anybody can own all of these. This became popular during the King Jeongjo's reign. And these are sort of appreciation of amazing scholar who's accomplished in scholarship as well as in, I guess, in taste. Like they have noble taste and interesting network of friendship. He would not buy with his own money. These are probably given as a present. But if somebody gives you that precious Chinese bowl, you can imagine that the receiver could have, you know, should return the favor, right? It's not like the money, oh, here, $3,000. No, you cannot give them money outright, but you probably return that favor with something else, such as writing a beautiful calligraphy to him, or it's not really a material value. It's more like your cultural influence. Um, Anyhow, toward the end of Joseon Dynasty, we had some practical movements of creating a map like this. Creating a map, 1861. If you go to Korea, you see several remaining versions of this map. So each block is wood block that you see over here. And then you get this book, but it's like a how can I say, sort of origami style, like a folded book. So it comes in like a book shape, but 22 sheets are folded. So if you unfold them all together, then you get a large, it's over, how can you say, it's over what? About 10 feet high detailed map of it. Anyhow, so it was possible by this Kim Jong-ho's contribution, but the government didn't like this initiative. The government thought that what if the map is acquired by Japanese spies or invaders, then our trade route and villages are all exposed. So the Kim Jong-ho eventually got imprisoned, and I think he died in prison. So the modern technology and the governmental administration are not always in harmony. They contradict sometimes. So Kim Jong-un unfortunately didn't have good administrators who recognize his talent. But I've seen this in the museums. So it's really interesting. If you unfold all of them, then it becomes the map. Anyhow, so folk painting is what was popular and available among citizens across diverse social classes. And these artists are professional, but we usually don't know their name. And then they usually painted a certain subject matters. So there is little room for innovation or individual expression, I would say. So people like this tiger. It will expel bad spirits. I think we should all have a miniature of this tiger under the pine tree to scare off that coronavirus. It never occurred to me, but that was the idea. Smallpox or like that prone, disease prone for young babies to have. So these tigers had that casting of demonic spirits or bad lucks. Or you can have that letter Chinese characters written in a more artistic forms. And then you have that scholars accoutrement in a folk version. So you can see it's the same idea, right? Books. These are books, not the drawers, books. And then auspicious objects. But it does not have that magnificent scale of Kyunghee. Kyunghee was a court painter. And then other types of that 책거리 or 책가도. And then they also worked on the Buddhist paintings as well.